Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the second part of Buried Treasure. Hope you're all doing great today, and thank you for joining me. So, let's do this. Now, good old Banks had a sarcastic way of displaying his own learning and putting me in the class that was reading Poor Jane Ray. Her bird is dead. She cannot play. Well, I rather liked good good lo good Goodloy, and I had to contempt contempt for his college learning, and I was always regarded as a good-natured, so I kept my temper. And I was trying to find out if he knew anything about my Martha, so I endured his society. And talking things over one afternoon, he said to me, "Suppose you do find her, Ed, whereby would you profit? Miss Magnum has a mind. Perhaps it is yet uncultured, uncultured. That must have the second meaning. But she's des destined for higher things than you could give her. I have talked with no one who seemed to appreciate more than an enchantment enchantment of the ancient poets and writers and the modern cults that have assimilated and expanded their philosophy of life. Don't don't you think you are wasting your time looking for her? My idea, said I, of a happy home is an 8-room house in a grove of live oaks, but the side of a charcoal on a Texas prayer. A piano, I went on, with an automatic player in the sitting room, 3,000 head of cattle under fence for a starter, a buckboard, and ponies always hedged at a post for the misuse. And my Martha Magnum to spend the profits of the ranch as she places, and abide abide with me, and put my slippers and pipe away every day in places where they cannot be found by of evenings. That, said I, is what is to be, and a fig had dried. Smyrna, Smyrna, Dragostand fig. For use for your curriculums, curri- curricul, curriculums, cults, and philosophy. She is meant for the higher things, repeated Goodloy Banks. Whatever she is meant for, I answered. Just now she is out of pocket, and I shall find her as soon as I can without aid of the colleges. The game is blocked, said Goodloy, putting down a domino. And we had the beer. Shortly after, a young farmer whom I knew came into town and brought me a folded blue paper. He said his grandfather had just died, unconcealed a tear, and he went on to say that the old man had jealously guarded this paper for 20 years. He laughed he left it to his family as part of his estate, the rest of which consisted of two mules and hypotenuse of non-arable land. Non-arable land. Arable land. The sheet of paper, the sheet of paper was of the old blue kind used during the rebellion of the abolitionists, rebellion of the abolitionists against the secessionists. It was dated June 14, 1863, and it described the hiding place of 10 burro loads of gold and silver coin valued at $300,000. Old Randall, grandfather of his grandson, Sam, was given the information by a Spanish priest who was in on the treasure burying, and who died many years afterward, in old Randall's house. Old Randall wrote it down from dictation. Why didn't your father look this up? I asked young Randall. He went blind before he could do so, he replied. Why didn't you hunt for it yourself? I asked. Well, said he, I've only known about the paper for 10 years. First there was the spring plowing to do, and then chopping the weeds out of the corn, and then come taking fodder. And mighty soon winter was on us. It seems to run along the way years after year. That sounded perfectly reasonable to me, so I took it up with young Lee Randall at once. The direction of the paper was simple. The whole burro cavalcade laden with the treasure started from an old Spanish mission in Dolores country. They traveled due south by the compass until they reached the Alamito River. They forded this and buried the treasure on the top of a little mountain shaped like a pack saddle, standing in a row between two higher ones. A heap of stones, I don't know, I forget the meaning. A heap of stones marked the place of the buried treasure. All the party, except the Spanish priest, were killed by Indians a few days later. The secret was a monopoly. It looked good to me. Lee Randall suggested that we rig out a camping outfit, hire a surveyor, rig out and surveyor, to run out the line from the Spanish mission and then spend the $300,000 seeing the sights in the Fort Worth. But without being highly educated, I knew a way to save time and expense. We went to the state land office state land office and had a par practical, what they call a working sketch made of all the surveys of land from the old mission to the Alameda River. On this map, I drew a line due southward to the river. The length of lines of each survey and section of land was accurately given on the sketch. By this, we found the point on the river and had a connection made with it and an important well and identified corner on the Los Alaminos 5-league survey, a giant made by King Philip of Spain. By doing this, we didn't need to have the line run out by a surveyor. It was a great saving of expense and time. So Lee Rundle and I fitted out a 2-horse wagon team, and we all with all the accessories, and drove 149 miles to Chico, the nearest town to the point we wished to reach. There we picked up a deputy country surveyor. He found the corner of the Los Alaminos survey for us, ran out the 4,720 yards west that our sketch called for, laid a stone on the spot, had coffee and bacon, and caught the mail stage back to Chico. Alright guys, let's continue tomorrow on the second part of this beautiful story. See you. Bye.